Mabuhay. Welcome back to the Excel Edge Realty podcast. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Always ready to dig into some great real estate knowledge.
I'm Lex, and this is Vera. We're your hosts for this deep dive.
Excited to be here.
Today, we're focusing on something super important for all you aspiring Filipino real estate salespeople, agents, and realtors out there.
Yeah,
Mastering real estate lead follow-up.
that's right.
And we've got a fantastic guide from Luxury Presence, a leading real estate marketing platform, to help us break it down. They've got some really valuable insights to help you convert those leads into clients and really make a name for yourselves in this competitive market. We're all about that Excel Edge, right?
Absolutely. It's not just about getting those leads. It's about what you do with them.
Exactly. Now, picture this. You're juggling tons of leads, your phone's buzzing nonstop, your inbox is overflowing, but are you really making the most of each opportunity?
That's the key question.
And this guide highlights a point that might surprise you. Responding to a lead within 1 minute can increase your chances of conversion by a massive 391%. That's almost 4 times more likely to close the deal just by being quick off the mark.
Wow.
And in a fast-paced market like the Philippines, where decisions are made quickly, that speed can be a real game changer.
Makes sense. You've got to capture that initial interest before it fades.
Exactly. It's about grabbing that momentum. When someone reaches out, they're hot, they're ready, and they want information now. That quick response shows you're attentive, eager, and you value their time.
I see what you mean. It shows you're on top of things.
And that resonates so well with Filipino culture, where responsiveness and attentiveness are highly valued.
Oh, absolutely. It ties into that pakikipagkapwa, that sense of shared identity and mutual concern.
Right on. But being quick is just the first step. We can't forget about personalization. We can't just send out generic, one-size-fits-all messages.
Definitely not.
No one wants to feel like they're just receiving a mass email.
Imagine getting a message that just says, "Thanks for your inquiry." It's bland, forgettable. What if instead you received a message that said, "Hi, lead name. I saw you were checking out that amazing condo in Makati. I think you'd love the views and the energy of that neighborhood."
Yeah, that's so much better.
Right. It feels like a real conversation.
It's like that warm Filipino hospitality. You're welcoming them in.
Exactly. And that personal touch can make all the difference. It shows you're paying attention, you understand their needs, and you're not just blasting out mass emails.
No, speaking of getting the right message to the right person, it's not just about what you say, but also where you say it. All right?
Okay.
We can't rely solely on email anymore.
That's where multi-channel mastery comes in.
Yeah.
Think beyond email and phone calls.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Explore text messages, social media, maybe even direct mail for that added personal touch. Remember, you're trying to connect with people where they are in their comfort zones.
And knowing Filipino culture, maybe even a personal visit over a cup of coffee could be a good idea. That face-to-face connection can be invaluable.
Absolutely. Building genuine relationships is so important, especially in our culture. But I know what you're thinking. Juggling multiple channels, personalizing messages, it can feel overwhelming.
Yeah, it can be a lot.
But the key is having a structured follow-up schedule.
So it's not just about that initial quick response. It's about having a plan for consistent communication.
Precisely. Think of it as a roadmap. You need a system to stay top of mind without becoming too pushy.
Okay, that makes sense. But how often should we follow up without crossing that line, without becoming that agent who's constantly calling and emailing?
That's the balance we all need to find, right? A good starting point is following up at least twice a week, especially if you haven't heard back. But pay attention to the signals your leads are giving you. If they're engaging, opening emails, clicking links, you can probably follow up more often. But if they've gone quiet, maybe ease back a bit.
So it's about finding that sweet spot between being persistent and giving them space.
Exactly. And to help you stay organized, there are these fantastic tools called CRM systems, Customer Relationship Management.
CRM, right? I've heard of it, but to be honest, I'm not totally clear on what it is or how it works.
Well, think of it as your digital assistant, your organizational guru for managing your leads. It helps you keep track of everything, schedule follow-ups, and even automate communication. So instead of digging through spreadsheets and notes, you have everything in one central hub.
So it's like having a personal assistant solely dedicated to managing leads and ensuring you never miss a beat.
Exactly. And the right CRM lets you set reminders, create personalized templates, and even track how leads interact with your messages. You'll know who's opening emails, clicking links, and who might need a little nudge.
Wow. That sounds incredibly helpful. And probably frees up a lot of time to focus on those high-value face-to-face interactions, which are so important in Filipino culture.
Exactly. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, okay, CRM sounds great, but it seems complicated. Well, hold on tight because we're entering the age of AI, artificial intelligence, and it's a game changer for real estate, especially when it comes to lead follow-up.
AI in real estate. Okay, now that sounds futuristic. I'm intrigued, but also a little intimidated. Can you break it down for us in a way that even someone who isn't a tech whiz can understand?
Of course. Imagine this. A potential client messages you at midnight about a listing they're excited about. You're sound asleep, obviously, but your AI assistant jumps into action. It immediately acknowledges their message, letting them know you'll get back to them soon. No more missed opportunities just because you were catching some Z's.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So AI can act as a 24/7 virtual assistant?
Exactly. And it goes beyond just responding quickly. AI can analyze your lead's behavior. What properties are they looking at? How are they interacting with your website? Even their social media activity.
It's like having a super smart detective working in the background, right?
Yeah.
Figuring out what the leads are really looking for.
You got it. And that's where AI-powered personalization gets really interesting. It takes all that data and helps you create messages tailored to each lead. It can even suggest the best time to contact them based on their activity. No more generic templates, just laser-focused communication.
This is mind-blowing. I can see how AI could be a real game changer for busy agents.
It's all about working smarter, not harder. And that's crucial in a competitive market like the Philippines where every advantage matters.
I agree. Time is precious and efficiency is key. But where do we even start with AI? Are there any specific tools you'd recommend?
Well, Luxury Presence, the company behind the guide we're talking about, actually has its own AI lead nurture tool, and it's really impressive.
Okay, hold on. So Luxury Presence isn't just a real estate marketing platform. They're also leading the way with AI in real estate.
Exactly. They've recognized the power of AI and have developed tools that can truly change the way agents work. Their AI tool analyzes all that data we've been talking about and suggests the best times to follow up, and even helps you write personalized messages. It's like having a marketing expert and a personal assistant all in one.
That sounds incredible.
Hmm.
But I know some of our listeners might be thinking, is AI really necessary? What would you say to those who are a little hesitant to embrace this new technology?
I understand the hesitation. Change can be a little scary, but the truth is, the real estate market is evolving quickly. To stay ahead, you need to use the tools that give you an edge. And AI isn't about replacing human connection. It's about making it stronger.
I see what you mean. It's about freeing up your time and energy so you can focus on those authentic relationships that are so important in Filipino culture.
You got it. Think of AI as your partner, not your replacement. It handles the tedious tasks so you can do what you do best. Connect with people, understand their needs, and help them find their dream homes.
I'm convinced. So, for our listeners who are ready to dive into the world of AI-powered lead follow-up, what are some practical first steps?
Well, start with those automated responses we talked about. Set up instant replies for leads contacting you through your website or social media. It's a simple but effective way to make a great first impression.
Right, because even if you can't respond personally right away, at least they know their message has been received.
Exactly. Then, start exploring tools that help you analyze lead behavior. That gives you valuable insights into what they're interested in so you can tailor your follow-up. And of course, consider tools like Luxury Presence's AI Lead Nurture tool, which can help automate and personalize your communication.
So it sounds like Luxury Presence is a company worth checking out for those who want to take their lead follow-up to the next level.
Definitely. They have an impressive track record. They've worked with over 13,000 clients, including some big names like Ryan Serhant, Josh Flagg, and Tracy Tudor.
Wow, that's impressive.
It shows they really know what they're doing.
For our listeners who want to learn more, what's the best way to connect with Luxury Presence?
Their website is a great starting point, www.luxurypresence.com. You'll find tons of information about their offerings, case studies, and you can even book a demo. You can also find links to their social media there.
Perfect. We'll be sure to include that link in our show notes.
Great. Now, before we jump into the next section, let's quickly recap what we've covered so far. We've learned that in real estate lead follow-up, speed is crucial, but it's not the only factor.
Right.
We also need to personalize our communication, show our leads that we genuinely care about their needs, and that we understand the importance of relationships in Filipino culture.
Absolutely. And we can't forget about engaging through multiple channels, reaching leads where they are and through the channels they prefer.
Exactly. And finally, we explored the exciting world of AI, which can automate tasks, analyze lead behavior, and even personalize messages on a larger scale, giving us back valuable time to focus on building those genuine connections that are so crucial.
It's been a jam-packed discussion so far.
AI is a powerful tool, but remember, it's meant to enhance human connection, not replace it. It's about finding that balance between technology and that personal touch that sets Filipino real estate professionals apart.
Well said. Now, before we move on, I want to remind all our listeners about Excel Edge Realty, your go-to for mid-price to high-ticket real estate in the Philippines. If you're looking to level up your game, head to our website, www.xledge.com.ph.
We've got loads of resources, listings, and expert advice to help you reach your real estate goals.
Now, let's dive even deeper into the world of lead follow-up and explore some specific strategies you can use today.
Sounds good. Let's get to it.
Okay, so we've talked about the foundation, but now let's get into the real nitty-gritty of crafting those killer follow-up messages. What are some of the do's and don'ts we should be aware of?
I think one of the biggest mistakes agents make is sending out those generic one-size-fits-all messages, the kind that just sound like they were copied and pasted from a template.
Yeah, I've definitely fallen into that trap before, especially when you're busy and have a ton of leads to manage. It's easy to slip into that.
I get it. But we have to remember we're connecting with real people here,
Ah.
individuals. Everyone has their own unique needs and aspirations. And that personal touch, that's what really sets you apart.
So how do we find that balance between being efficient and still making it personal?
Well, it's all about finding those little ways to automate things without sounding automated, if that makes sense. Like you can use your CRM to group your leads based on what they're interested in,
Okay.
maybe what stage of buying or selling they're at, or even their preferred communication style.
So you're not sending the same message to everyone. You're actually tailoring those messages to their specific needs.
Exactly. And you can use these dynamic fields in your emails or text messages even to personalize that greeting. Mention the specific property they're interested in or even something they shared with you in a previous conversation.
That's so smart. It's like having a little personal assistant whispering in your ear, reminding you of all those little details.
Precisely. And personalization really doesn't have to be complicated.
Right.
It can be as simple as mentioning something you noticed about their online activity, or maybe you bring up a shared interest you discovered during a conversation.
I love that. Those small gestures really show that you're paying attention. They're not just another number in your database.
It's about rapport. It's about trust, which is particularly important in Filipino culture, right? Where those relationships really are everything.
Okay, so personalization is key. But what about the content itself? What should we actually be saying in those messages to keep them engaged and keep things moving forward?
I think the key here is to provide value every time you interact.
Okay.
Don't just check in or ask if they have questions. Share some helpful information, something that shows off your expertise and lets them know you're invested in their success.
So like, if a lead is interested in a particular neighborhood, could we send them recent market data or articles about events and amenities in that area?
That's a great example. Or if they're first-time homebuyers, maybe share a guide to navigating the mortgage process or offer tips for preparing for a home inspection.
That's so helpful. It's really about going above and beyond just selling a property. You become a trusted advisor, someone they can rely on throughout their entire real estate journey.
That's exactly it. And don't underestimate the power of storytelling either.
Oh yeah, I love a good story.
Share those success stories from past clients, anecdotes about your experiences in the market, even personal insights that show your passion for real estate.
I love that idea. It makes the whole process more human. Shows them there are real people behind those transactions.
Exactly. And remember, a little humor goes a long way too.
Oh yeah.
Don't be afraid to let your personality shine through. Filipinos are known for being warm and having a good sense of humor. Embrace that.
I agree. A well-placed joke or a funny story can break the ice and make you more relatable.
Now, email and texting, they're great for staying in touch, for sure.
Yeah.
But don't forget about the power of a good old-fashioned phone call.
Oh, especially for us Filipinos, nothing beats hearing someone's voice. That personal connection is so important.
Absolutely. A phone call allows you to have a real back and forth. You build that rapport, ask clarifying questions, and get a sense of their interest and how ready they are to move forward.
But I know some agents out there just dread making those calls. Any tips for overcoming that fear?
Well, first, remind yourself you're not actually selling anything over the phone. You're checking in, offering help, and building a relationship.
Oh, yeah. That takes the pressure off a bit.
Right, and it helps to prepare a little script beforehand, or at least some talking points, so you feel confident and organized. And remember, practice makes perfect.
That's good advice. So we've talked email, texting, phone calls. What other channels should we be considering?
Well, social media can be a really powerful tool for staying top of mind.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And you can provide a ton of valuable content to your leads. Share updates on the market, virtual property tours, even give them a little behind-the-scenes peek into your life as a real estate agent.
I love that.
Mm,
It's a great way to let your personality shine through and connect with leads more personally.
exactly. And don't discount direct mail entirely.
Oh, right.
In this digital age, something like a handwritten note or a personalized postcard can really stand out.
Especially here in the Philippines where we value that personal touch so much.
Absolutely. Now, I know we've thrown a lot of information at you, but the good news is you don't have to do everything all at once.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Where do we even begin to implement all of these strategies? It's a lot.
Start by picking one or two channels that you feel most comfortable with and really focus on mastering those.
Okay.
Once you've got a good system in place, then you can slowly start expanding your reach.
That's a great tip. Build that momentum by taking small steps.
Exactly. And remember, your CRM can be your best friend through all of this. It can help you schedule those follow-ups, automate communications, track your progress.
So it's like having a personal coach in your corner, keeping you accountable.
Exactly. Now, ready to take your lead follow-up to a whole new level? Let's talk about AI again.
Okay, round two with AI. We touched on it earlier, but I'm still a bit fuzzy on how it actually works in practice. Can you give us some concrete examples of how AI can really amp up our lead follow-up game?
Absolutely. Imagine you have a lead who's been browsing properties on your website,
Right.
and they keep looking at three-bedroom condos in Makati. Your AI assistant picks up on that pattern
Okay,
and automatically sends them a curated list of properties that fit those criteria, maybe even with some neighborhood insights and financing options.
that's incredible. It's almost like having a mind reader.
It's all about anticipating those needs before they even have to ask. And AI can also help personalize your communication on a larger scale. It looks at those past interactions you've had with your leads, their social media activity, even online reviews they've left.
Yeah.
And then it uses all that to help you craft messages that truly resonate with their interests and personality.
So it's like having a marketing guru writing tailored messages for each and every lead.
You got it. AI can even suggest the best time to reach out based on their activity patterns and how they prefer to communicate.
I'm telling you, this is blowing my mind. It's like having a whole team of experts working for you around the clock to optimize your lead follow-up.
That's the idea. It takes care of those repetitive tasks, so you're free to focus on those high-value interactions, things like building those relationships, offering expert advice, and negotiating those deals.
Okay, you sold me on AI. But let's be realistic, it sounds expensive. Is this technology actually accessible to the average real estate agent?
That's a good question, and the answer is yes. AI tools are becoming more and more affordable, even for individual agents and smaller teams. And the return on investment can be huge. Think of all the time and money you save by automating those tasks and closing deals more efficiently.
I see your point. It's an investment in your business, your future success.
Exactly. And remember, Luxury Presence, the company we've been talking about all episode, they offer AI tools specifically designed for real estate professionals.
Right. We talked about their AI-led nurture tool before. Can you remind us what it does and how it can help us?
Sure. Their AI-led nurture tool takes all that lead data we've been discussing, analyzes it, predicts how interested they are, and suggests the best times and ways to contact them. It can even draft personalized messages for you. It saves so much time and effort.
So it really is like having a virtual marketing assistant working tirelessly behind the scenes, nurturing those leads and keeping them engaged.
Exactly. And it's powered by AI, so it's always learning and adapting.
Wow, that's impressive. For those who want to know more about Luxury Presence and their AI tools, where should they go?
Their website is a great resource, www.luxurypresence.com. You can find loads of information, case studies, and you can even book a demo to see the tools in action.
Perfect. We'll add that link to our show notes too.
Great. Now, before we wrap things up with the final part of our discussion, let's
Yeah.
quickly recap everything we've covered.
Okay.
We've talked about the importance of speed, personalization, engaging through multiple channels in your lead follow-up.
Absolutely.
We've also learned how CRM can make our workflows so much smoother and how AI can boost those efforts, helping us work smarter.
It's been a lot of information.
And we've discussed specific strategies for crafting those effective follow-up messages, from emails and texts to phone calls and even using social media.
Definitely a jam-packed episode.
Now let's finish strong by discussing what the future of lead follow-up might look like and how we can stay ahead in this ever-changing industry.
Sounds good. Let's dive in. So we've talked about a lot, from the fundamentals to some really advanced stuff. But what's next? What trends should Filipino real estate agents keep an eye on in the world of lead follow-up? What's on the horizon?
That's a great question. I think one of the biggest things we're going to see is this move towards hyper-personalization. AI is going to become even more sophisticated.
Okay, so even more targeted than what we're seeing now.
Absolutely. It'll be able to understand those individual preferences even better, predict behavior more accurately, and create those messages that really feel like they were written just for you.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. It's like AI is almost becoming more human.
In a way, yeah, but it's not about replacing that human connection. It's more about amplifying it, freeing up agents to really focus on those interactions that need empathy, creativity, that special Filipino sense of pakikipeka po ito.
I like that. It's using technology to help us be more human, not less.
Exactly. Another trend I see is incorporating virtual and augmented reality into the whole lead follow-up process.
Wait, VR and AR? Like those headsets people use for gaming and stuff.
The very same. Imagine giving your leads a virtual tour of a property right from their living room, or using AR to overlay digital information onto their real-world view.
That's pretty amazing. It's like you're bringing the property to them.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just showing properties, too. VR and AR can be used for those interactive presentations, even host virtual open houses. You can even use them for some remote closings.
So it's really breaking down those geographical barriers, creating a more engaging experience for everyone.
Absolutely. And it ties in with the Filipino value of malapit sa isa't isa, that feeling of closeness, even when you're physically apart.
I love how you're connecting these technological advancements back to our culture. It's not just about adopting the latest tech, it's about using it to strengthen those human connections.
Exactly. Now, another trend I'm excited about is the rise of what's called conversational AI, those chatbots.
Ah, chatbots, those little pop-ups you see on websites all the time.
Yes, but they're getting much more advanced. They can understand natural language now, answer those more complex questions, even have those personalized conversations.
So they're not just limited to those pre-programmed responses anymore.
Not at all. They're constantly learning, evolving, becoming more and more human-like in their interactions.
So how can we use chatbots for lead follow-up specifically?
Well, picture this. You have a chatbot on your website or even your social media that instantly engages with new leads,
Okay, yeah.
answers their questions, even qualifies them based on their needs and their budget.
That's amazing. It's like a 24/7 assistant handling those first interactions, giving agents more time to focus on the more complicated stuff.
You got it. And chatbots can also be used to schedule appointments, send those reminders, even collect feedback from your clients.
So it's another tool to automate those tasks and make our workflow more efficient, help us be more responsive.
Exactly. Now, one last trend I want to mention is the growing importance of data privacy and security.
Ah, that's a big one, especially with all this talk about AI and collecting all this data.
Absolutely. As we embrace these powerful technologies, we need to be very aware of how we're handling our clients' data and make sure we're protecting their privacy.
So it's about finding that balance,
Yeah,
using the technology effectively, but also being responsible stewards of our clients' information.
precisely. It's something we need to keep in mind at every single step of the process, from when we first get that leads information to how we store and manage that data.
Well said. It seems like the future of lead follow-up is this amazing combination of cutting-edge technology and those timeless human values we hold dear.
I couldn't agree more. It's about embracing those new innovations, but still staying true to the principles that make us successful, like building those relationships, offering great service, and putting our clients first.
I think that's a perfect note to end on. This has been a truly insightful deep dive. We've covered so much, from the very basic principles of lead follow-up to the exciting possibilities of AI and all these emerging technologies.
It's been a pleasure sharing these insights with you and all our listeners.
Before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone to check out Excel Edge Realty for all your mid-price to high-ticket real estate needs in the Philippines. Visit our website at www.exceledge.com.ph for listings, resources, and expert advice.
And don't forget to subscribe to the Excel Edge Realty podcast for more deep dives into all things real estate.
And please, share this episode with anyone who might benefit. Let's help each other rise.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, and sharing is caring.
Salamat po for joining us. And remember, your success in real estate starts with mastering the art of lead follow-up.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep excelling. Mabuhay!